Paltrocast. AJ, aside from talking to dirt sheet riders who ask you the same scandalous questions over and over and over again, good day for you so far?
Yeah, no, actually, the interviews today, they're not like that. You know what's funny is that there was a shitty narrative about me for years that was make believe, and people are starting to realize that it was make believe and all full of shit. Now my interviews really aren't any of these gotcha questions anymore. They're really fun, so it's cool.
I think you've had so much media training, whether or not that was ever the purpose of the whole thing, that you can talk your way out of anything at this point, on top of your skills as a broadcaster. So if I asked something stupid, you would know how to backpedal out of it.
It's not even just that. It's like you were right, the media training. It's like people don't know. I spent 10 years doing TV and radio before I ever got to, that three-letter company in the sky. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's like this is not my first rodeo, any interview I do.
Right. So let's get the housekeeping out of the way. So if my research is correct, No Surrender is the next big event that you're part of for TNA.
Absolutely. We'll be in New Orleans, the Hilario Center. I love going to New Orleans. They have a great crowd that really gets invested in the show all over Louisiana, not just New Orleans, but New Orleans for sure. The last time I was in New Orleans, all I said was the words "Roll Tide," and everyone booed me out the building. So it's a great place to work. I love the food there. I love the women. Love the women there. The women in New Orleans are some of the best women in the world. It's a great place to be, and it's always fun to go somewhere like you actually enjoy being in and getting paid to do it. So New Orleans is. If you ask me to name my top 5 cities, I've been all over the world. I've been to 33 countries. I've been to 40 states. If you ask me to name my top 5 cities in the United States, New Orleans is on that list. So, I'm very much looking forward to No Surrender and Bayou Blast.
And Bayou Blast. That was going to be the follow-up question. And we're also going to see you at Bayou Blast.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure.
Okay. So tying all that together here, it was a wonderful surprise to see you come to TNA, and you're doing great things in TNA. Did you come into the company with any goals this time around?
Yeah, I came into the company with the goal of proving how much of a talent I am. For the past few years, I haven't lacked talent. I've lacked opportunity, and TNA has given me the opportunity. TNA has already had me on commentary twice. TNA has already had me cut longer promos than I did any time in the last 3 years. TNA has given me leeway to do and say what I want in my backstage segments. And because of that, every week when they air, the one what I did with Rhino and Rich Swann, the one I did last week with Diener and Joe Hendry. Please don't say his name. When these backstage shows I do, the internet loves them. People are like, these are great. Oh, this is the AJ Francis I always wanted to see. It's like he was always there. You know what I'm saying? It's just now the people at TNA, guys like Tommy Dreamer, who, Tommy Dreamer brought me in and he believes in me and he knows the level of talent I am. Mm-hmm. And he told me himself, he was like, you're filet mignon. A lot of people don't appreciate filet mignon till they get it the right way. You know what I'm saying? Like, he told me that. So it's like, he believes in me. And I've never lacked confidence. Once again, I've only ever lacked opportunity. So like, to know that Tommy and Gail Kim are like, yeah, we need you to keep doing exactly what you're doing. You're doing great. Sure. You know what I'm saying? That instills even more confidence in me. And then the guys in the back in the locker room are so cool. And then you have guys who, because there's been a terrible misconception and terrible bullshit stories about who I am and how I am as a person. And, it's been going on for years. And it's all perpetrated by people that have never actually met me and don't know me, never worked with me. You know what I'm saying? To have a guy like a Brian Myers go on his podcast with Matt Cardona and be like, yo, I didn't know AJ at all. I met him. He works hard. He's great in the locker room. He's cool to be around. He's a good time. Like, I'm happy that he's in TNA. Like, that means the world to me because not enough people have stood up for me in my career. You know what I'm saying? So, and I appreciate things like that. I love my time at TNA.
So if I can keep the compliments going right here. So you mentioned before the 10 years or so of media training accidentally that you had, and of course, a great NFL career.
Oh, it wasn't accidental. It was intentional for sure.
Then broadcasting you did related to that
Mm-hmm.
magical unnamed company
Uh-huh.
that we saw you on A&D for, then your
Mm-hmm.
musical career success, then of course you made
Mm-hmm.
moves with the Uber stuff, etc. This
Mm-hmm.
question kind of, it's what I want to know, but Jay Gold from the Indie Wrestling Guy wanted to know this. What are you? Like when I say who's AJ Francis, there's the wrestling, the music, etc. What are you? Is there a way to describe it?
Yeah, I'm an entertainer. I am the most talented entertainer in the world. And if anyone has a problem with me saying that, let's talk facts.
Or
What's
talk
the
it or take it to the ring at
let's talk facts. How many what's the percentage of people to play in the NFL? Let's just cut that right there. All right. Of those people, how many of them are good enough to be professional wrestlers? Of those people, how many of them have been on nationwide tours because of their music? Of those people, how many people have hosted literally dozens of television shows on dozens of different networks, from A&E to Fox to CBS to NBC to ABC to NFL Network, like to FS1? These are facts. This is all on Google. So it's like when people ask me what I am, I'm an entertainer. If you put the camera on me, you will be entertained. It don't matter if I'm wrestling. It don't matter if I'm talking sports. It don't matter if I'm rapping. It don't matter what I'm doing. If I am on commentary at TNA, you'll be entertained. If you go watch the last episode or 2 episodes ago of Explosion, I'm on commentary for Rich Swann's match. I'm very entertained. Okay, like I'll be on commentary for another one of his matches on Explosion coming up. I'm very entertained. So it's like that's what I am. I'm an entertainer. And the thing is like I don't go out there. Like obviously everybody says, "Oh, you're trying to get yourself over." Yeah, that's the whole point of the gig,
Yes.
right? Is to get yourself over. But
Yeah.
like I'm trying to get us all over. I'm not just trying to get myself over. When I'm on commentary, I'm trying to get the good hands over. I'm trying to get Rich Swann over. Like I'm doing it. I'm not just doing it for me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's the point of the business, is to elevate everybody. It's an old saying, but it's true. The tide raises all boats. If I could be the tide bringing up everybody, you know what I'm saying? That's why I went to NFL Media Row for the Super Bowl and was on the Pat McAfee show and was shouting out the dates that I had coming up at TNA. Pat McAfee's never talked about any other wrestling promotion other than that three-letter company in the sky ever on his show. You know what I'm
Well, if
saying?
I could rudely interrupt you here,
Yeah,
McAfee talks about having made $1 million in 7 different professions.
yeah.
You're one of the only people I can think of that's the same kind of deal.
Exactly, and he don't even make music. So let's talk about that. How about that? No,
Well,
that's my boy.
I
Though
do want to talk
that's
about music to
that's
steamroll.
my boy. Is Pat's my boy, and like the good thing about Pat is like I didn't go to Media. Like I went to Media Row because I was booked for other things. I actually
Yeah.
didn't go to Media Row for Pat, but Pat saw me and his people were like, "No, no, no, get on the mic, let's go." Like he don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to do that, but he did because that's my boy. You know what I'm saying? These are the kind of relationships you can build when people know you're genuine.
So, in terms of music, you mentioned Rich Swann before,
Mm-hmm.
who not everybody realizes is a great guitar player. There's a cool
Mm-hmm.
video of him playing Alice in Chains online. Moose secretly plays the piano. Chris Bay, I think he plays bass, but he doesn't talk about it. You have a very
Mm-hmm.
secret musical locker room. Is there anybody that you could ever see from the TNA roster collaborating with musically?
Absolutely, I'll collaborate with anybody. I just was part of Montez Ford just released an album called "God Is Good," and I'm on 4 of those tracks. I'm executive producer on that album too. I'll work with anybody. I'll work with anybody that wants to work with me. Me and Rich Swann, that could definitely work. I'm trying to get him to work with me now. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get him to be part of the team. This true story. I met Rich Swann on the back of an airplane. I was a fan of his because I was a big wrestling fan, and he had no idea who I was. I was in the NFL for 6 years, and he didn't know me from a hole in the wall, right?
Sure.
So I met him we were in the last row of a plane on our way to make some money, and in different professions. And he was, uh, it was funny because like we met and we became cool. And then later, like obviously a year later, I was a professional wrestler. So it was like these things it just kind of happened that way. But like I told him on Explosion, and I told him on Impact too, on TNA Impact, like I don't fly in the back of the plane no more. You know what I'm saying? Like I want you in the front of the plane with me, Rich. And said we can work together. We can make some money together. We can do some good things together. We both Baltimore boys. I care about my Baltimore people. You know what I'm saying? Like we can do some good things. First thing he's got to do, he can pick up that guitar, but stop dancing for them people. Okay, them people don't care about him. Them people didn't pay his bills when he was down, on the bad side of town. You know what I'm saying? And things was not looking up for him. You know what I'm saying? People didn't care about him then. So why does he come out and dance for these people now? He don't need them people. You know what I'm saying? We need to work together. We need to collaborate. That's the perfect collaboration.
Sure. Well, the last question I got to you before I let you go is, with all these job titles, is there a field yet you haven't yet dominated that you might eventually take over?
Yes. And the answer to that is color commentary on sports. I've done it before. I've done it on basketball, baseball, hockey, soccer, football. I've done it. But that is something that I have not been like, I haven't turned it into part of my career yet. I haven't done really big games, and it's the kind of thing that I always wanted to do. As well as like my dream is 10, 15 years from now, I want to be the host of the Tonight Show. When Jimmy Fallon finally gives it up and they want somebody that can carry the weight. People don't know I was already on the Tonight Show, not as a guest, but as a one of his opening monologue jokes. When I did drive for Uber for the Dolphins, which people talk about me driving for Uber. People were like, why were you in the NFL driving for Uber? I was like, because I had only been in the NFL 2 years. And in the off season, you don't get paid. So I could either spend money that I was saving up or make money in my free time. And I grew up broke as hell. So I know how to work for money. Right. But he said on the Tonight Show, he said, Miami Dolphins defensive lineman AJ Francis is driving for Uber, which is funny because it's the first time that the Dolphins have been able to drive more than 10 yards all year, right? Which is a great joke. Yeah. And I didn't care because I played defense, so I don't care that he was basically shitting on our offense. But let me tell you, offense coordinator, Ryan Tannehill, Mike Palcy, they were not too happy about that joke.
Who likes there's no sports entity that everybody likes. If we talk about Tom Brady being the best of all time, people are going to go, yeah, but he lost 2 Super Bowls. And you're like, okay, yeah, fine. That doesn't make him the best player ever. Okay,
yeah.
You can't please them all, but I'm really excited to see what's ahead for you in TNA as an in-ring performer, as a broadcaster, etc. So congratulations on getting to be yourself at a high level.
Thank you. And I appreciate you for having me. I appreciate your kind words. I appreciate the opportunity that TNA is providing. No Surrender, February 23rd, 22nd and 23rd. 23rd is the
I'm sorry, I got that wrong. You were right.
Oh, that's what I thought.
23rd, and then 24th is Bayou Blast.
Bayou Blast, yeah. February 23rd, February 24th, New Orleans. We didn't know you. I'm gonna be out there. I'm gonna try to see Lil Wayne if I get a chance while I'm out there. You know what I'm saying? See Birdman, get the whole Cash Money. Every time I'm in New Orleans, I'm gonna try to get Lil Wayne to come to the show. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I'm gonna try. You know what I'm saying?
Paltrocast.